Brandon Bridge is joining us from the CFL, Saskatchewan Roughriders. Brandon, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And I guess our first question is, how were you first introduced to the sport?
I was first introduced by when I was younger. My middle brother Kyle, he actually kept asking my dad to actually play football, and at first we weren't allowed. And one time we were driving by, and we saw a little sign that said SMFC, which is Streetsville Meadowville Football Club, and we drove by it, and then he asked again, and my dad finally gave in, and he asked me, "Do I want to play football?" And honestly, I was just pretty much following whatever my other brother did, so I was like, "Sure, I'll give it a shot." And after my first year, I wanted to quit because I was getting bumped, and I just wanted to play basketball. But then my dad saw that I had talent. He's like, "You're not going to quit this," and that's how it all started. I was about 12 years old.
So since then, and for those people that don't know about your career, can you give us a little background of the places where you've played at and for how long?
Yeah, I played at St. Marcellinus, the best high school in Mississauga. We won two championships there. I played with outstanding people there. I got to play a year with my brother. I got to play there with Blair Smith. I got to go up against a lot of the Canadians that's actually on a lot of CFL teams now. Yeah, after that, I went to a lot of football camps. I went down. I was MVP for a camp in Detroit. I was invited to the top 15 best quarterbacks that year, my grade 11th year. After my 10th grade year, I had every offer from a Canadian school. I had coaches fly in and say that they wanted me to be at their school. And then when I I was looking for a scholarship opportunity down south, and Alcorn State, the school that Donald Driver and Steve McNair went to. So I decided to go there. Then after I started my true freshman year there, and then my sophomore year, I decided to transfer. Then I went up to the University of South Alabama, which is now my second home. And I went there. I was in South Alabama in 2012,
Right.
and got invited to the NFL Combine. Got invited to the Manning Passing Academy, which is invite only. Getting a phone call from Archie Manning and Peyton Manning was pretty cool in college, and still have their contact to this day. Met a lot of guys at that camp. Met a teammate of mine now, Marquise Williams, at that camp. Seeing Johnny Manziel, met him. I'm actually great friends with Cincinnati's backup quarterback AJ McCarron, who's the quarterback at Alabama. So I met a lot of people, friends with a lot of people, and now I'm here.
So, in your football career, what has been the biggest highlight of your career?
My football, I guess it would be actually winning. It's been 32 years since a Canadian quarterback in the CFL has actually won, and for me to be a part of that and to lay down that stone, and hopefully the next quarterback can come in and start within the years to come, or hopefully days to come, or weeks or months. So that was definitely a big highlight of mine. I wasn't obviously aware of it when I was in college and when this whole thing was transpiring. It was just a blessing to be a part of that and to be a part of history, and for a lot of the fan base and the whole country kind of rallying behind me. I got a lot of love on social media. People saying they look up to me. Thank you for this, and thank you for trying to open up doors for us. There's a lot of people that want to play the quarterback position, but there's the ratio, Canadian quarterbacks, we don't count as the ratio in the CFL. So I'm really trying to get that changed. Try to really start a whole little buzz with our commissioner by mentioning his ear. I had a conversation with him about a week ago. So I'm really trying to lay down that first stone, because honestly, whenever you're gone in this life, it doesn't matter what you did. It's what people remember you as, and how many lives that you helped out. So I'm really just trying to help out the younger generation so it's an easier route for them.
So how does it feel to be in that rare breed of being a Canadian quarterback in the CFL?
It actually feels great. Obviously, there's a lot of hurdles that I have to still jump over, but I'm going to just keep on fighting. There's a lot of stereotypes where they want to have an American quarterback, because if you look at the record, it's would you rather have a guy who played at in the SEC or Big 12 or like the Pac-10, or would you rather have a guy who was born in Canada and went to like the University of where we are, Carleton, like University of Carleton. Like on paper, you look at it and like I'm going to pick a guy who went to University of South Carolina before I pick a guy who went to University of Carleton. But the thing is that like you can't judge a book by its cover. There's talent everywhere, and you really just got to get like a fair shake. And I feel that every opportunity that I get, I'm going to make the best out of it. Even though I didn't take the route as most Canadians do, I did take the south to the border route. So like I know I went to the Division I schools and whatnot. So it's definitely that. But I'm just trying to just help out everybody, and hopefully the younger generation can feed off of it, and hopefully like this game can change some way somehow.
So earlier in September, in a game against the Hamilton Tiger Cats, you became the first Canadian quarterback in 30 years to have 3 touchdown passes. What was your reaction to accomplishing that feat?
It was definitely a grateful reaction. Truly blessed. Definitely felt good, but at the end, like that was like my job. My job was to go out there and put up points and entertain. Like as professional athletes, people buy tickets because they want to be entertained. So by me going out there, I felt like a lot of the fans in there. I saw like a lot of green shirts, and even after games, if they had the black and yellow, even when we scored, there wasn't really much boos. I actually heard like their own Hamilton Tiger Cats fans cheering just due to the fact that I'm also like a Canadian. So it's like a double-edged sword for like the fans. It's like they want to see like their team win, but they also want to see a Canadian, flourish. So it was actually just a great feeling. Definitely going. I didn't even know until I was told after the game that that was a record as well, or that was like a milestone.
So with the International Bowl and the World Under-19 Championships coming up in the next year, recalling back to when you were one of the first quarterbacks for Team Canada at the Worlds in 2009, what was the experience like for you?
It was kind of surreal. Going in there and seeing, Deion Sanders. It was actually kind of like my first time really seeing guys I'm used to seeing on TV, and seeing them was pretty cool. And then obviously playing against like the Americans that are now like in the NFL, like playing against the Honey Badger, was actually pretty cool. He's on Arizona now. Bryce Petty, he's a quarterback. He's on like the Jets right now. It was actually just pretty cool just getting to know those guys and how down to earth like they really are, and just to see them grow up and see how they handled everything. It was just cool just to really got to know like who they were. It might have been like at a young age, and definitely I don't keep in contact with them now because we were so young. But it was really cool to be around those guys. It was actually pretty cool.
So what advice would you give players that will be experiencing the International Bowl or the World Under-19 Championships for the first time for playing for Canada, but as well as when it comes to U.S. rules and the field?
My advice is to go out there and enjoy every bit of it. Don't try to sit in like your room, obviously, study your stuff, but try to interact with everybody. Like it's crazy how like you'll never be able to meet a guy from Japan because you might never go there, or you never might meet a guy from New Zealand. So like I would definitely say, try to sit at everyone's table. Try not to sit around like your own teammates. Obviously, you want to bond with them, but try to bond with other cultures and see how they are and see how great of people that they really are, and to also just take the opportunity that you have to be able to play on the stage, play up against the competition, get to level up yourself against how you are with like the other Americans and the other countries, and just to go out there and just try to put Canada on like the map. Obviously, winning definitely helps that.
So, Brandon, who's your All-Madden?
Who's my All-Madden?
Yes.
What do you mean? Like my All-Madden?
Your All-Madden team.
Oh, my All-Madden team would definitely be at quarterback is Tom Brady. I think he's the best quarterback ever. If I was to have my receivers, I'd probably have Randy Moss and Jerry Rice. My running back, I'm actually a real huge fan of Tony Dorsett when he was on the Cowboys. And then obviously on defense, I definitely have the great Sean Taylor. I think he was a great safety, hit hard, and Ray Lewis at linebacker, and probably Deion Sanders definitely at corner, and probably Ronnie Lott also at safety. So there's actually a couple guys probably back in before I was born would actually be on like my Madden team. But if it's going to be a quarterback, it's definitely be Tom Brady over anybody.
So, if you had to choose between Matt Ryan and Matthew Stafford, who would you choose and why?
Matt Ryan and Matthew Stafford. I think they're both good. Actually, quarterback's going to be a great quarterback to like the future, most definitely. I'd probably give it to Matt Ryan right now. I think Matt Ryan's been really he's been really consistent.
So, what is your favorite food, Brandon?
No, pardon?
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food would definitely be ribs, mashed potatoes, and corn.
And final question, what's your favorite movie?
Pursuit of Happiness and Coach Carter.
Thank you so much, Brandon, for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Brandon Bridge, quarterback of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, joining us today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.